So based on those observations, there were some great opportunities I felt. One was the creation of a playbook, not the Matt Crocker playbook. This was, our first team staff, our head coach, all of the great work that had gone on in the first team around our, pressing strategies, how we played, our systems, our key characteristics for individual positions that we were looking for, the 6 positions that we were looking for, how we identified with the ball, without the ball, what the priorities were, how we then trained up our coaches to be able to know what sessions to deliver, to develop those skills, how we trained our scouts to know what to look for in other players that we want to identify and bring to the club. It was really, really important, and the playbook was fundamental to that. And my role is really to be the gatekeeper of that playbook, to make sure that, as future managers in the history, and as we all, we're just fortunate enough to be at the club at this moment in time, when my time moves on, or Ralph's time moves on, or Marianne Spacey-Cale moves on from the women's program, that there is a legacy and a piece of work left for somebody else to build on in the future. So that piece of work was really important, and that currently exists now from our first team and our B team that play and run exactly the same way. I spoke earlier about these player-led, staff-supported IDPs with protected time. So can we create a week or can we create some time for players to work on the things that are going to get them in a team, or in the team that they're chasing to get into, whether that be the first team or the B team if they're an under 18. They could be the super skills that are getting them in them. So if you're a great free kick taker, how do you become a free kick taker like James Ward-Prowse? That's a super skill that can get you in a team. But what are also the other things that you need to work on, the fundamental 2, 3, 4 things that are going to help you get closer to be getting into that team? So again, identifying those position-specific requirements and having opportunities within the week to work on those things, on a day-to-day basis, for those to be in every player's head, every coach's head, every member of the support staff's head, to help those players. And then, I think I talked about this structured focus on, keeping the shirt that you're wearing is a priority, but also chasing the shirt ahead of you. And that comes, making sure that there's not a sense of entitlement that, this shirt is mine, and, that you're always working hard every day. You bring your best self to training every day to continue to develop yourself, help develop your teammates, and help develop the club. That concept of that environment is really, really important. And also one of the things that the opportunities I felt was to change from a traditional head coach, assistant coach model that existed to a much more of a game coach and an individual development coach with the B team and the under 18 team going forward. And how is that structured? So pretty much the game coach is responsible for delivering the playbook to make sure that the players understand how we play, the terminology, their job within the role, or the roles within the team, to make sure that we prepare the players for the games effectively. And also the head coach's role is to coach and deliver that game and review that game. They'll also have key responsibilities for helping individuals, but we've also introduced an individual development coach to sit alongside the game coach, and their role really is not to own every player's IDPs, but to make sure that there is robust, simple player-led IDPs, that where there's a need identified by a player, that they can go to that individual development coach to pull the relevant staff in to talk about that issue, to find out where that support could come from, and to make sure that on a regular basis we are reviewing the players' IDPs based on their performances in training, their performances in games, and making sure that they're on track, or as close to on track as we possibly can be. And it's going to be a key role. So it's something that we've implemented in the last 3 or 4 months, and this will be our first season at it from next season. And it's something I'm really excited about. And it's something, we've got 2 fantastic individuals as those individual development coaches. I was fortunate enough to work with these guys at the FA, Lee Skirman and Mikey Harris, who I know have got the right level of coaching experience and the right relationships with players and influence and skills to be open-minded, to consult with data, to consult with psychology, to consult with all of the MDT teams, to pull all that together and realize that the answer is not always on the grass with the coaches. So, they've got some key roles going forward.